Hello everyone, welcome to the podcast. On today's episode, we'll be talking about relationships. With me, I have a couple of friends and this is going to be special. So I'm just going to let them introduce themselves as from my right. Ladies first.
Hey, I'm Desiree.
Hi, I'm Derry.
Azaria.
I'm Josh.
Name is Elijah.
Welcome to the podcast. Like I said, today we're talking about relationships and it's just going to be a regular conversation, and stay tuned. Make sure you like, make sure you subscribe, and make sure you share to your family and friends and even to your enemies. Welcome again. What are your thoughts when you hear the word relationships, right? What comes into your mind first when you hear the word relationship?
Two people.
Two people?
A man and a woman.
Okay.
The commitment.
Mm-hmm.
Unison.
Huh?
Unison, being one.
Okay. So when you talk about like two people, can you expatiate on that? Just explain it a little bit on that. Like two people?
Two people coming together because they have similarities or sharing love.
Okay.
Or they love each other.
Okay. So when you talk about, did you say again?
You said unison, being one. It's like having a bond with somebody. I mean, it doesn't have to be like blood or anything. It could be a stranger or church member or friend or something like that.
And what was it you said again?
I said commitment. So when I think of a relationship, I think of whether it be a church, whether it be a friend, a loved one, a family member, you're committed to that person, that entity in some fashion.
Desiree, you said relationship between two people. What does that mean?
I think it was pretty self-explanatory. It's a relationship between two people.
Relationship differs for different people, right? So someone you play basketball with and someone you have as a co-worker, are there relationships between those two people, or is it the same for them?
No, I guess it's more of like the trust you have with the person as well. When you like the different relationships you have is different. It's different trust. So the trust you have with a coworker may not be the same trust that you have like with a friend.
Okay. So piggyback with that, is that what you meant by commitment?
No, I think commitment's a little different, but I do agree, and I never really thought about it like that before, but the different levels of friendship one might have, I think, it's really set aside by the amount of trust you have for that individual.
Okay.
No, you're doing good. You're doing good.
I'm trying to think. What was the answer again for relationship?
For me, I said it was like a bond between people where people, are in unison and are in one. But I mean, I kind of agree with what you said because like it's different levels to that, because my expectations in a relationship between friends, co-workers, church members, family, it's at different levels. So like if someone fails at a commitment in that relationship, it depends on what level I have you at, depending on whether it hurts me more or less, or my expectation.
So for all of you, what's the difference between the level of commitment in the relationship you have with a coworker as regards to a personal or a close friend?
So I have like maybe two brothers. I have two brothers that I trust with my life, and I know I can tell them anything, and I know they can tell me anything. I know whatever it is, there's no judgment, there's no whatever. No matter what we go through, we'll work through it. And then I have close friends, and then I have good friends, and the with the level of trust, there's less, I guess, talked about. I don't know how to say it, but I guess the more trust, the more closely you
are with the person.
Right.
I would say like with the time that you spend with them, the things you guys do together. Like I feel like time really does play a part because you get to know that person, the things that y'all go through. So like with certain friends, you might have known them for a longer time, so you will trust them more because you know what to expect out from that person, as opposed to like someone that you just met. You're not gonna trust them as much because you're still getting to know that person.
I think that goes with the level of intimacy.
Yeah.
That's all. the more time you spend, the stronger the bond, the more intimacy, and not necessarily just like sexual desires. It could be anything.
So, what would you guys say a healthy relationship looks like?
One with effective communication.
Yeah.
So you say communication is a key. It's
I
key
think
to
so.
relationship, right? What do you think, Des?
Go back to me. I'm still
What do you think like a healthy relationship looks like? Either like a relationship with your friends or your co-worker or something romantic. She talked about communication. I think communication is a big thing in a relationship because many people tend to become enemies because one person couldn't communicate about how they feel or how they look at things.
The communication of boundaries.
Or communication of boundaries.
Yeah.
Yeah. Some people don't know how to communicate their boundaries, and
I
you
think
know.
respect also is really big.
Yeah.
Like with a healthy relationship, you have to be able to have mutual respect for one another.
Yeah, I think respect also comes with communication too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it works hand in hand.
What was the question again? I'm sorry.
What do you think a healthy relationship looks
sacrifice.
like? Sacrifice.
Because there's a lot of things that you guys may not agree with. Like your man may want a freaking man cave, but you don't want a man cave, you know? And you guys have to figure out what's gonna be and what's not gonna be. Like small things like that.
Weird things they've ever been in a healthy relationship, and they would like to share how it looked like. Who has ever been in one?
Could you repeat the question?
Who has ever been in a healthy relationship and would like to share how it looked like?
No, I didn't hear what you said.
Who here has ever been in a healthy relationship and would like to share how it looks like?
Is this romantic wise?
It could be romantic. It could be romantic. It could be friendship.
Like off the rip, it was healthy.
Yep. And you think it was healthy.
I mean,
Or it is healthy.
Isn't every friendship or every relationship at the start healthy till you get to know the person?
I don't think the first couple of months start when you're just
No, I don't mean like the first couple of months. I'm talking about you being
friends with that person.
in a relation with someone. You think it was healthy if you
I think I'm starting to enter healthy relationships now
Amen.
as I grow older and mature more. And I know what I like and dislike, but I haven't been in any healthy relationships previously.
And I think healthy relationships take work. I think with every relationship, there's going to be some amount of toxicity. But what determines the health in that relationship is how well you overcome the challenges, overcome the said toxicity, and how well you can communicate to move forward and overcome those challenges.
And also I feel like the toxicness also in a way makes, depending on the people, will make those people better because they're like, okay, this is wrong, let me stop this, you know? Like sometimes you don't know that you're toxic.
Overcoming challenges.
Yeah, you grow up like that, so you think it's normal until you meet someone and they're like, no, that's not normal.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Okay.
And then you're like, okay, I gotta change this because this is wrong.
Okay. So something like difference in personalities. Oh, okay. That's a good one though. That's a good one. So nobody has a story of a good healthy relationship. So we've all been in like relationships that are not healthy. I would say for
If you don't know what a healthy relationship is, how do you know what you were it was toxic?
yeah, that's right too. How do you identify a toxic relationship?
Your level of peace.
Yeah, this is a big one.
If it's there, if it's not there, just like with any other situation.
Also the reaction that your mental, spiritual, and your body has to that person. Like if every time you text me, I'm getting aggravated, it's a problem, you know? If I'm losing sleep, if I stop eating,
Consistent
it's
arguing.
toxic. Yeah, if it's affecting my everyday, it is toxic.
Could you say it might be not saying you, I'm saying
Yes, he was about to say.
not saying you exactly. I'm saying like in that kind of situation, it could be anyone. Could you say it might be that person that's
it
the
could
problem?
be you as well because you're allowing that to upset you. Is that what you meant?
Something like that, but could it also be that you yourself you don't know how to accept like love or care in a relationship? You don't know how to accept it. So when someone tries to show you, you think otherwise.
No, if the person's being toxic to you,
No, I'm just saying like you identify stuff that's supposed to be healthy as being toxic?
Okay.
I think it goes both ways in the giving and receiving. I think you can receive something that is good as toxicity because of past experiences, and I think also you can
That's
act
what
out
we-
toxicity.
That's what I was driving to. Like some people perceive things that are healthy to be toxic because of past.
Okay.
Yeah, so I was just trying to bring out that. So some people are the problem because they don't know how to receive love or to accept.
And they kind of like move away and kind of stop communicating because like too much love is weird for them.
Yeah.
What was the first question that started this little conversation right here?
It was what do you think a healthy relationship looks like? Or the question before that?
No. There was one that I had an answer to. It's escaped my mind too.
So when you talking about your brothers? Or?
No. Just now.
Like about a toxic relationship?
When people step over one's boundaries, that's an expression of toxicity. Was that the question? I feel. Yeah, I don't know, man.
You got it. How important is trust in a relationship? What do you think?
I think it's one of the.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of the building foundations.
Priority.
If I can't trust you, I will not. I'm not gonna give you any responsibilities because I'm gonna believe that you're not gonna do them.
Did you ever trust someone in your life and they let you down?
Yeah.
How was it like?
Painful.
Yeah. It was horrible because then you don't trust them with things that you should trust them with as a woman. Like if a man breaks your trust, you kind of have to take on that masculine role, not purposely, but because it's like I cannot trust you to do this, I cannot trust you to do that. Now I have to fulfill this, that, and things that I shouldn't have to. So yeah.
You want to say something?
No.
Okay.
I would say it plays a part. Talking about boundaries, that's how you kind of get past people's boundaries when you earn people's trust as well. Because, usually when you meet people, you get to know people, they keep you on the outside. Then the more they get to know you and the more you earn their trust and vice versa, then the boundaries start coming down, the walls start coming down, and then you start having a more intimate.
That's a good one. That's a good one. I would say like trust, like what he just said, trust is like a foundation in a relationship. You talk about communication, respect, all of it is based off of trust. You're going to communicate to someone because you trust them, and you're going to respect someone because they've shown that you can trust them and you can rely on them. But if someone shows you can't even trust them, you're going to just disrespect them at any time. You can't even communicate with them because I can't give you out information because I don't even trust you with this information I'm giving to you. You might still end up betraying me. So I feel like trust, especially in the society where we live in, like today, we see relationships break out because one person doesn't trust the other person. So I'll say like, especially for, let's say when it comes to finances, let's talk about finances in relationships. Most people believe in like 50-50, some people believe in like 80%, some people believe in like 100%. What do you believe in? It's good you throw out the question.
Okay, in this generation, as much as I want to believe in 50-50, I feel like a lot of people can't even fulfill that 50 role. Like, not even being disrespectful or anything, but I feel like everything is much more expensive now. So you kind of have to do 50-50. That's just how I feel. I don't mind it because of a circumstance. But if two people are making a lot of money, I don't want to do 50-50.
What do you want to do?
I want that.
80-20.
Yeah, 80-20.
So okay.
Like, we're talking about finance-wise, right? Okay.
So
We're
you
talking
believe,
about a pentatonic relationship, or
we're talking about financing like in a
we're
romantic
getting to
relationship.
romantic now? Okay.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
started off as friends, and now we're moving into.
So in a romantic relationship, what do you think about like finances? She said 50-50.
I said 80-20.
Yeah. So
Baby, I'm the 20.
The
So,
preference is 80-20.
80-20,
Yeah.
so 80 for who and 20 for who?
80 for him.
And 20 for you?
Yes!
Whoa.
my wife and I, we join both of our savings accounts for whatever it may be. We split our bills evenly, since we both get the same pay. And then what's left over after we finish adding to our joint savings accounts, after we finish paying our bills, is then we have our own checking accounts. And that's like personal spending money. And We're currently apart, so that's a little difficult. But once we're together, we'll have to revise the system. But I think both individuals, especially in this day and age, should be giving, in our situation, we're doing equal contributions or equal for the person's situation. So let's say this person can't give 100 because they're tied elsewhere.
Yeah.
They're 70, they're 50. That's their 100 that they're able to give, and that's a rightful contribution.
So it brings it back to like communication.
Yeah.
Right?
Absolutely.
And understanding between the two people.
I
What do
feel
you
like
think?
y'all should discuss, the two of y'all should talk about it, because depending on where the economy is, society is, where y'all are at work financially and stuff like that,
Yeah.
y'all should
Right,
discuss
right,
it.
Yeah,
Y'all should
right.
work together. But I mean, I would say I do also believe, that a guy should be providing for his kids and his wife and stuff like that.
Okay. Don't.
I would also say, like, we are like in a situation where both of us do need to contribute and help each other. Then we should sacrifice to help each other until we get to that position where I can just take care of.
By all means, if I could, my wife wouldn't have to pay a penny for a thing,
Yeah.
but I can't.
Right now.
Right now.
You gonna get there.
What you think?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Who, me? Well, I grew up with my dad taking care of everything. That's just how I was raised. Like, my mom had a
Daddy's
job
daughter?
the entire,
Daddy's daughter.
Well, I'm one of 6 siblings.
Girl.
So he had no. But no, I grew up one of 6 siblings. Like, yes, my mom, they both had really good jobs. My dad had a better job, but he always took of like the main household things. And my mom's would take care of like if we wanted to go on any trips, if we wanted to go out to eat. So that's why I feel like the 80-20 is good. 80% as in like the husband should be taking care of the household bills, taking care of his family. And whatever else is left, like, don't be scared to put your coins in, girl.
Yeah.
Don't put your coins in.
She wanted to say something?
And I was gonna say, you gotta think about it from the aspect of a woman is always gonna do more than, and I think I said this before, than that 50, because the woman's expected to clean.
If
cook.
you're in that role,
Yeah,
if
you
you're in
take
that
care of the
traditional
kids,
role.
like you're dealing.
Yeah.
You may not be paying the bills, but you're dealing with all the finances. So you're already doing all that, and when the husband comes back from working, everything's already taken care of. So man, I'm doing mine at 50. Like,
Okay. But the way I look at it, like growing up from Africa and growing up back home, right? I see the men take care of the ladies, right? It's just a responsibility, something. They look after the family and they show that the responsibility. But for me, I believe in, I don't necessarily believe in 50-50. I believe like how just shared, like a man should take care of his household and the woman steps in when necessary. Like, I just want, like how the Bible says a woman is a helpmeet. So helping the man where it seems difficult. The woman might still take care of the responsibilities, like because the man is down now, the woman got to step up to do 100%.
yeah.
I believe in that, but I also believe in like when it comes to like finances, like joint accounts. For me, that's a personal thing. I believe if I get married tomorrow, we're gonna have one account. I believe that so much. If I can trust you with my life,
Right.
I can also trust you with my finances. You know, it's not something we're going to debate on how we're going. So you keep yours, I keep mine. You know, two have become one. That's what I believe in. So I'm going to trust you with everything. You know, so that's the way I believe. But I feel like most people that are going sometimes to marry, they feel like, okay, you keep your money, I keep mine. Sometimes it works for others, but sometimes for some people it doesn't work because it brings about like that division between the family. Now this person is having this and this person has this, and there's that fight and that struggle in the family. So that's what I feel. I believe in like 100%. Take care of your wife. You know, a man can take care of.
I think that is a problem that society has. Like, people want to like keep things to themselves, but they don't want to sacrifice for the other person.
Yeah.
And then that goes back to like the trust and the boundaries and stuff, because you think this person is in your corner, but when something actually does happen to people, they find out that person won't help you, even if like your life is on the line.
Yeah, that's
It's
true.
like, well, where's all your money at? You know, this is my money.
Yeah, it's like this is my money. You'll be like,
There's no yours, there's no mine. There's us.
There's
us and everything.
yeah, it's like it's our money. You know what I'm saying? But I think like in modern day society, finances is a big thing that destroys a relationship. Sometimes the man is so down and the woman feels like because I'm a woman I can't cover up for the man, you know. So it's like, I mean, going back like back home, sometimes my mom paid her school fees and you wouldn't even know, like you wouldn't know like your mom even did that. Because no one is going to talk about it.
Yeah.
They're just going to do it like closed doors. It's just discussion in their room, and you won't even hear about it until you probably, if she opens up to you, and maybe when you're older, and be like, I took care of, but no one is going to know. But it's like out here when someone is taking care of the bills, and the ladies be like, yeah, I'm taking care of him. So sometimes they need a billboard to just put out there and be like, yeah, I take care of my man. I pay the bills. I do this. It becomes like, and it just breaks many homes, and people just separate because of finances. So I think it's a big issue in relationships.
Too comfortable getting their bills paid.
Huh? What'd you say? What?
That's how it is.
What?
Men be feeling comfortable getting their bills paid, and they don't be scared to ask for anything.
But I also feel like, so you can't just put it on men. If you choose a man that does not have a job, does not have a car, and you're mad when he's asking for your car, babe.
Yeah.
Do you
That
believe?
makes sense.
Okay, but do you also believe? I was gonna ask. Do you also believe in how do you call this stuff again? Like process, like
Process what? Food?
getting new. I'm not talking about.
Like,
I'm not talking about supply. I'm not talking about supply. Do you believe in like dating a man that is not made yet? Like
I feel
financially,
like as long
it's
as
not
you're
there yet.
progressing. But if you're stagnant, you continuously don't have a job after like 2-3 months. Don't have a car. It's like, what are you doing?
I like that. I like.
What are you doing?
So if you work making $100,000 a year and he was at McDonald's, he done came up to a manager. You still gonna mess with him?
Personally, I'm gonna be.
Are you still gonna entertain him? He's a good man, Savannah, but he's climbing the ladder at the Q's.
Okay, in a year from now, if he isn't the manager, then okay.
Okay, wait, hold on. Let me get this straight.
I will say,
Is there something wrong with someone that works at McDonald's?
No.
Okay.
No,
She was just.
But if he's trying to, if you want that man to fulfill that role in your life,
What
and you're
role?
making more than him, because imagine
What
you
role?
do have the money, a husband. Like imagine you do have the money to pay the bills and everything else, but
Would you
he
pay the
doesn't.
bills?
I
If
feel
you
like
have the
need
money to pay the bills and he doesn't, would you pay the bills?
Well, I'm a lover girl. Of course, I would pay the
depends.
bills, but that's not the
It
case.
depends.
No, I'm saying, okay, if you guys are married,
He's
right?
a really good man.
He doesn't have. So what do you define? Do you define a good man by his finances?
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay, I was just getting. Okay, so if he works at McDonald's and you earning like 200K, and probably he's bringing home like 70K because he works at McDonald's.
That's good. That's a
No,
we getting paid 35 right now.
Yeah, so
That's good.
Okay, if he okay. If he's getting paid 35K, he's bringing back home 35K,
Okay, so
and you
for
just
me-
make. He's a good man.
Okay, so
Here.
I feel like for me, you at least have to have like some sort of like. I feel like you need to have an aspiration.
Yeah.
I feel like you need to have aspirations. You need to have like.
Don't state it.
Okay.
so
Yeah.
I can't speak for them, but I will speak for my wife. When she found me, right? We were both in the military. Yeah, she found me.
Period.
Yeah, she
Nice.
liked me.
Period.
Okay. The guy's handsome though.
No, but
Okay.
what caught her attention is, yeah. But we started talking, right? And I told her about my goals, and I told her about my ambitions, and I wasn't wanting to stay steady. Like I don't want to stay where I'm at.
Yeah.
I have dreams, I have ambitions, and I told her those, and I think that's why. Given my current situation, I'm just an E3 in the Air Force, right? That's why she saw security in our future.
Oh.
She came with me, and I'm still in the phase of my life where I'm building myself. So yes,
So it's like
To answer your question.
you explain her your vision and where you're going to,
Absolutely.
so she can see the picture. So it's like someone working in McDonald's, but the person has a vision and he has a
And
purpose
those
where they're going
aspirations
to.
and
That's
goals.
It's not just
a
lazy.
stepping stone
Yeah.
to where he really wants to
Oh,
go.
Yeah.
okay, I see. So okay, basically finance is not, that's not what defines a good man, but it's also
No.
part of a good man.
yeah.
It's also part of it.
It matters.
It matters.
Because if he's broke, that's not a good man.
I mean, I would say it matters though, because I won't give my daughter out to a guy that can
Yeah.
take care of himself, and I won't do that though, But like someone like her that grew up with her dad taking care of her. She already has a perspective about what a good man should look like, right? You know, some people didn't receive that treatment, so they don't have that perspective what a good man should look like.
I do have a question though. We're talking about the goals and aspirations. I'm curious, like, how far does a person's goals have to go? Because you say you don't want somebody that's stagnant, but I'm like, what end goal do they have to reach before they can stop?
That's a good question.
They can,
That's
maintain a good life with their spouse.
I mean, you don't have to be the president, but
Yeah.
I don't even think it's like a level. It's just like, are your goals obtainable? Are you being realistic? Is it something that you're really gonna do, or are you just
Yapping.
Yeah.
So I kind of split it. Like, if you can find a good job and you get paid, well, then that could be it for real. But spiritually, I feel like you should always keep reaching. So it's like two different things.
So
you should always be aiming to improve.
Yeah.
And like she said, the goals should be attainable. It shouldn't be like dreaming. It shouldn't be like, oh, I want to be
Because then it's
da-da-da-da-da-da.
for me, kind of.
So it's like having goals with action. Yeah, like just the actionable goals where you see the person saying, I want to do this, and they're actually doing things to get there, right?
So let's say you want to be an officer. That's your goal. That's your next goal. And you should always have multiple goals, right? You should always have a big goal and steps to get there. So for the goal of an officer, if you're an enlisted, the steps to get there are schooling, bullets, talking to recruiters, finding out if you want to do the R2C program, finding out what program you want to do. So taking those little steps to get to the bigger goal is the evidence that you're not just dreaming, that you're actually taking effort and action to obtain what you want.
And I feel like when you keep having so many goals after you done reach the point, you never really get to appreciate like what you really have, because it's like, okay, I got here, now I'm ready for next step. Like what I gotta do,
Right.
Buffett, is that bad?
No, it's not bad, but I'm saying like at a point in time we're all gonna get to a certain age where we can't do much.
And it also makes you think about what is driving that person so much. Like, why can't you be present in the blessing or the prayer that you were, asking
Why is it not
God
enough for you?
Then why can't you sit in it for a while? Like, what's driving you to constantly go to the next thing? Because if it's idolization or greed or something else, then it's a problem. Or fear, I mean, it could be a problem. But what about from a man's standpoint?
Oh yeah.
Tell me about guys.
I came from nothing. So my goal is to become something, right? At the very least. But also in my goals, I won't mention them because I feel you should only confide your goals to people you trust greatly, like the closest circle you have.
Yep.
But I do want to give to other people. I do want to help other people because when I was lower down in my life, when I was struggling, I had people help me who were in maybe certain groups, certain organizations that really inspired me to be better. I came from nothing. I want to become something so I can give.
Yeah.
What was the question again?
Just flip the perspective when a guy is like, I guess, wanting to pursue a young lady and she may or may not have goals. How do you
okay.
Goals that she doesn't have money. Y'all said financially.
If you're working, does it matter? Does money matter? Because I know some guys get intimidated when their girl is making more money than they are. So
that's true. That's true. For me, I would say if a girl is money matters, finance matters, regardless. I want to date someone that has somewhere they're going to, that can stand on their own. Even I'm not there, they can stand on their own and take care of a family without me, right? So I want someone that's purpose driven, that has a vision where they're going to before even me, and someone that can fit in my vision, because the person is coming to help me. So together we can achieve something, right? And something like that.
You have to have a like-minded vision.
Yeah.
One that can work together.
Yep, actually. Something like that. The finance does matter. So I won't get married to a lady that's just lazy and just wants to stay. In as much as I want someone to stay at home, but I also want her to have like a passion and a vision that she wants to achieve. I'm not getting married to you so you can just waste your life by staying at home while I provide for you. You might have something you have to offer to the world, but marriage doesn't stop you from attaining that potential where you're trying to go to. So I'm not going to stop you, but I'm going to support your dreams and your goals while you also support mine, and together we can build something like that. So not just someone who is lazy and just working at
Working at
where?
Yeah.
keep going. No, I'll answer that after this.
For me, I mean, money isn't the biggest thing for me. I mean, like Koge said, I don't want somebody that's lazy. You know, I would want somebody that's got something going on, some type of ambition. But when it comes to women, I feel like men are like paying attention to money to begin with, like that. We're more focused on like you guys' character. Also spiritually speaking, like the foundation got to be there because we can build off of that. Like we both Christians and we take it seriously. And we both know that we can trust each other. We're willing to sacrifice for one another, so we can kind of build from there. But as far as like a woman having more money than me, I don't really see that as an issue. I feel like when somebody has more money than another person, it only becomes an issue when that person starts looking down on the other
person. Yeah.
Because we can have a perfect godly relationship and love one another and love our children and sacrifice for each other regardless of how much money we got. But it depends on if money is a priority instead of Christ being the priority.
Yeah.
Amen.
That's good.
I don't care how much my partner makes. I don't care how much she has. I do care what her spending habits are.
Yeah.
And I hate to say it like that, but if she wants to do is shop and shop and shop to the point where it's detrimental to our future and the goals and the relation, then there's an issue.
Yeah.
But if we're willing to find a compromise and we're willing to find a budget and we're willing to think about it and to communicate, because it's all around communication, then we can move forward.
Yeah. I think going back to what you said, like men are looking for like someone we can manage, more like someone who can take care. Let's say I'm trying to build this empire, so I'm looking for a lady who can help me manage, not like submissive, but like
I'm not talking about
manage
in a
it.
sexual way. I'm just a helpmate.
Yeah, someone who can manage it, because men are just like goals driven, so they can be all over the place, but they need a lady who can manage them and put things together. That can see like the loopholes and all that, and fix what the man can see.
Strong where you're weak.
There you go. Yeah. So I was going to ask, in our society today, what do we see like some of the challenges, or what do we think are some of the reasons why relationships break a lot in our society today, in this modern world, especially with like the Gen Z generation, this generation.
Ego, pride, social media.
Oh yes. Social media is a big one.
Do you think people see fake love on social media and think I'm related to their relationship?
You're what to the relationship?
Like what they see on social media, they try to relate it to their relationship.
Like, why don't
Or replicate it?
Yeah. Or something.
Yeah.
Yes.
So what are some of the things we see out there? She said ego.
I mean, I feel like people get in relationships for the wrong reason. Like they just get in it just to get in it. Because a lot of people just want to be in one.
Yeah.
So they're willing to
They're bored.
Yeah, they're willing to
Or
do
afraid of
whatever
being
to get
alone.
in one.
Competition as well. Because like, my girl got a boyfriend, it's my turn. Like,
Oh, okay.
And like he said, not being able to be lonely is a big thing. Because then you just settle for whatever comes your way, or whatever attention. Insecurity is it too. Because if I'm insecure, I'm just gonna settle for anything that comes my way because I think I can't find better.
Okay.
That's one thing. I think it's good for any person to be completely comfortable in themselves, to know what they like to do, to have their own hobbies, to not need anyone to be completely dependent on themselves, whether that be finances, whether that be their time, whatever it may be. Because if you can love yourself and you can respect yourself and you can be comfortable in yourself, then you can do all that for your partner. You can do all that for your friend. You can do all that for whatever the relationship is, but you need to be first
complete.
Yes,
like
complete in yourself with Christ.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's it.
like, that's where scripture comes into. Because like if you don't know who love is, because God is love, we don't know who love is, or the description of how the Bible describes what love is. We'll just take what somebody gives us at face value and go like, okay, that must be love. Instead of knowing what love actually
Knowing what
is.
love is actually. Yeah. So I'll say Like looking in the society today, people are just missing it. Do you think also people just get into relationships when they are too young?
Too young?
Yeah. Like I see 16-year-olds in the Western world, like 15-year-olds, 14-year-olds, they just I'm dating, they're in a relationship.
Well, you have to
Do you
think
think
about the world right now. It's
Yeah.
hypersexualized. Everything. Everything is hypersexualized.
do you think that's also affecting like relationships?
Yes.
Yes. Especially when you start young like that. I saw a 12, like my little brother's 12. So I looked on his Instagram and I saw half the stuff that was on there. It's sick. Like it's sick. What's going on here?
On the TV. Come on.
I can't stop.
We're coming hard. You're fired.
That's a good commercial break. Dang, 12 years?
No, yeah, some of the like people that he follows, or even like some of his little friends, like they're in full blown relationships. I said you're 12. What are y'all talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you possibly have to talk
Probably they're talking about their goals and their visions for the next 24
If
years.
you guys had a daughter, how young or old does she have to be to get into a relationship?
When she understands what a relationship is.
How
And that
young?
can take years.
Or
how-
y'all have some.
Like, do you have an age gap?
For me, I would say at least until like when she gets out of high school.
Mine was
What?
16.
Okay.
16?
Like full blown relationship.
Did I wait till 16?
I
No.
was 19 years old and I still could not have anybody around the house.
Yeah.
Male. My dad was not playing.
I just feel
He's
like
not playing.
people want it for the experience at a young age.
Well, yeah,
They don't
because
understand.
especially girls, I feel like you're pressured, especially with everything going on,
Yeah.
and like you're pressured to have a boyfriend,
Yeah.
to have your first kiss, to like
Okay.
lose
because
your
everybody else
virginity
is
and
doing
stuff.
it.
Yeah.
What do you guys think? If you're married, so if you have a kid, if you had a daughter now,
If I could say what I want to say, I'd say you have to wait till you're 18. But that's not really
Yeah.
going to
Realistic,
happen.
yeah.
I know that for a fact because I know what it's like to be that age. I want to encourage friendship, and I want her to understand what a healthy friendship is, how to be friends with the guy, how to be friends with just other females. And I would say the same for my son. I'm so young, I couldn't even say that just yet, but I think understanding what a spiritual relationship is, what a God-led relationship is, being able to understand yourself and to be complete with yourself.
okay.
When you show that you're ready, then maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, for me, I would say within the age of like 23, 25. No, it's not funny. I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding.
Really?
Yeah, I would say
African standards or American standards?
not only like African standard, from culturally being raised
For
up
your
that
son
way.
Or your daughter?
The daughter is the worst. 23 to 25. Between that age, once it gets there, that's when I was like, okay, you can start. You can start.
So what about
My son like 25.
He's really wild.
No. Okay, I'm not looking at something. I'm just lying, but I'm saying actually that's how I intend to raise up my kids.
Okay.
In that way, I want them to, because okay, let's say when you're 18 to 23 is your prime. You gotta use it. You gotta use it wisely. You know, you gotta use it to build yourself, build value, work on your dreams, and work on where you're going. You gotta figure out your life. But once you start getting into relationships, you start getting distracted. Now you got to sleep over at the guy's house. You got to sneak out of the house because you want to talk to a guy. You got to do yada 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 because you want to do things. Now you just lose focus. I mean, we've all been there. So I don't intend to raise my kids in the way I grew up. You know, start having relationships early. You know how it distracted you. But I intend to like change that for my kids. You know, I know it's going to be hard at first, but I know I can do it. You know, I'll be like, when you get to 23, you can do that. But for now, you got to settle down, build your life, and grow in value. You know, just become someone that someday a prince might come here to get married to you. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So I don't want all this like this. I don't want these little boys around just to come.
hold herself to a higher regard?
You understand, right? Because I'm going to make my kids understand that the people at their age limit, you got to think above them. They put in your age gap. They don't think like you.
I feel like the relationship people have with their parents also plays a role.
It's
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Because if there's no respect for the parent, then there's definitely going to be people just going crazy.
Yeah.
Stuff they shouldn't be doing. Because I mean, when I look at my life, the way that I had a relationship with my parents, and then them teaching me, you know, the Bible and stuff like that, and the way that I should go, it actually made me like stop and think, like when I was in certain situations, because you know I had that respect for them, so I felt disappointed.
Yeah, you're letting them know
something that's gonna make them sad, and make them upset, and you know mess up my relationship with them in my life and stuff like that.
Yeah, like how we said, is the relationship you have with your kids. Because if your kids see the way you treat them, if you treat them like in a sense where they feel they're complete in themselves, they won't want something outside of that. You understand? But if you treat them in a way where they feel like they loved outside rather than inside, now they want to be outside with people that they think loves them more than you do. So it's the relationship with your parents.
But also, I feel like you gotta watch out when it comes to their friends as well, because you can treat them that way, but then they can go to school and they might still try those things. You know?
But I think also it comes to like
and the experience.
Growing up, you know, our parents didn't really teach us about sex education while we like little, because people shied away from it. They're like, no, it's too bad to teach a kid about sex and all that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I feel like it's okay to teach your kids early on in life about, you know, topics like that. You know, sit them down and teach them about relationships, sex, God, what it means to date someone, you know, early on in life, so they can understand those things, so they can go out there and mess up and spoil the family name.
He almost went through the wall.
I'm just keep talking about it.
He almost went through the wall.
We're rounding up very soon. I was going to ask, how do we set up healthy boundaries?
That's a good question.
How do we set up healthy boundaries? What do you think? How do we set up?
I think, like, if something bothers you, you should express it. Communication, I guess. That's the start of it. Because without it, no one's going to really know, you know, how to navigate through the relationship. How can you set a boundary if you're not expressing yourself?
So you got to speak about the boundaries, communicate it so the other person can understand.
Like have those hard conversations.
Yeah.
I think you need to know what your boundaries are. I think you need to respect and love yourself enough to express those boundaries, so that ties in with communication. And I think in order for you to express your boundaries, you also need to know how to respect others' boundaries.
I would also say like being able to know when you're wrong and being able to admit that to the other person, being transparent with them, not holding it in and letting it come to a boiling point, but actually like, you know, speaking to that person. That way y'all can like discuss it and like disperse it or whatever, so it doesn't like get out of control.
Okay. And I also feel like giving the other person a chance to express their own perspective, the way they see things, and trying to understand them, like just giving them that space to be like, okay. One thing I learned, I think someone taught me, was when you're talking, if you're in a relationship with someone or whatever relationship is, most statements you make, you want to be like, I could be wrong. You know, when you start off that way, you can be able to actually apologize when you're wrong. You give room for the person to express what they actually think. I could be wrong about this, but if we do it this way, it's going to work out. You know, if you start that way, you just give them room to actually be like, okay, how about we do it this way? It all boils down to communication.
It's a little off topic, but in the part of communication, when you're discussing boundaries or something that's come up, I think, I feel, I this, I that, rather than when you this, you that, rather than accusing the other person and calling them out and saying you're doing this wrong. Let them know how their actions are affecting you with an I statement, because communication is a big thing, and a lot of things can go wrong in communication. But when you learn how to have healthy communication, and when you learn to, like, let's say in the aspect of boundaries, and you're trying to say, let's say, I'm failing to think of an example, but you were hurt. Rather than saying you hurt me, you were wrong, don't do that. Say, when you did this, or I feel da-da-da-da-da, when you did this, I would rather this. What do you think about that?
Yeah.
It's effective communication while expressing your boundaries without accusing the other person so they don't get a defensive.
Yeah. So rather you say, I feel like when you did this is what happened. What if we did it this way?
Right.
And this is going to be the result if we did it this way. Not like accusing them of face value and be like, you did this wrong without even providing a solution. You know, you spoke to me like this. I feel like if you said it this way, I will understand better. So they don't become defensive, and now you'll be like, it's a toxic relationship.
Also, asking questions can assist with that. Making sure the other party doesn't feel so defensive. Just ask a question so they don't get all riled up.
What if they lie?
Huh?
What if they lie?
We got another problem.
What are some common red flags you see? You can see.
Common red flags
Yeah.
in relationships.
Yeah. What are some common red flags you've seen in your past relationship?
Oh, when you go near them and
Romantic?
they grab their
Yeah,
phone.
romantic. We're talking about romantic relationship right now. And before we go to that question, she just talked about phones. I was going to ask this question. Since, yeah. What do you think about sharing your phone with your partner?
If I'm not doing anything, I don't care. You can look through my phone. But if you're looking through my phone because you're trying to find something, that's when it's an issue.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because if you don't trust me, you shouldn't be with me.
Okay.
Well, I had an ex who would just look, just like
Just
monitor
in
what
case.
I'm saying. No, just to look and see,
Be nosy?
just monitor. I don't know.
Or just monitor you and like your moves
Yeah,
and your
monitoring.
your discussions.
Yeah, like who, like who have I been talking to today?
Yeah.
Type stuff.
I have enough trust where I don't want to go through my partner's phone, but we have enough trust for if I wanted to, she'd let me. Have I in the past? Yes. Will I again? I have no idea. Probably not, because I trust her, and the same goes for me.
Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry. I feel like I'm probably the only one. I feel like I should be able to go through my boyfriend's phone, my husband's phone, whenever, however.
I feel
I
that
know
way
some
too.
people feel like it's like a boundary
Invasion of
and
privacy.
invasion of
Yeah,
privacy,
you're not doing
but I
anything.
feel like if he's like, let me see your phone, it's just like, okay. So I feel like it should be mutual. Like,
Well, absolutely. If the
go.
question arises.
yeah, but some people aren't like that. I've
Yeah,
been in
yeah,
situations
yeah,
where
yeah.
they're like,
No.
it's
Yeah.
an invasion of
Yeah.
privacy.
Yeah.
I'm like, you
What
can.
am I invading?
Yeah.
It's nothing that you're hiding.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
But also with that, I don't think like most people say invasion of privacy. Like, how would you have privacy in a relationship? Like,
I mean, there
like-
are some things that
like let's say you're married. What's the
married is
privacy?
different.
The
Marriage is
privacy-
different.
Okay,
Yeah.
think about it like this. There are certain things that your sister may want to tell you that she don't really want your husband to know. Like, it's privacy, things
or
like
your
that.
homeboy.
But that's communication.
But that's also like privacy.
If my sister is going to say something that she doesn't want you to know, I'm going to answer the phone and I'm still going to tell you. Yeah, it's communication. No, I mean, we are one, right? I'm going to tell my sister, okay, yeah, but I'm still going to tell my wife because it might be something that might arise like a problem in the future, and your wife is going to look at you and be
That
like,
is funny.
all right, you didn't